everybody, it's me, Joe. How you doing? Hey, hope you all had a fantastic Easter. For those of us in the United States, it was Easter yesterday. So I hope everybody had a great time and you're able to spend it the way you wanted to spend it. So I want to talk about how I started my virtual assistant business. And my special guest tomorrow on my live radio show are the people who got me started, or the ones who mentored me and really were my angels in disguise. So I want to tell you a little bit of story about that. I had been at a conference in Dallas, and it was a women's conference for eWomen Network, and I was flying back on the plane. I had to fly to Minneapolis, and I was reading a book, and it was by Stephanie Frank called The Accidental Millionaire. And I'm over here on this side, and so I'm reading the book, and the gal over across the aisle from me, she leans over and says, "Hey, do you know the author of that book?" And I said, "Well, I just bought the book," and I had met her at the conference I was just at. She goes, "Well, I was at your same conference." Anyway, we got talking, and she was across the aisle, and so people were getting annoyed with us. So I said, "You know what? Let's wait till we land, and then we'll talk some more." So we did. And at the end, so I said to her, I said, "Well, how do you know this gal?" She goes, "Well, I'm her virtual assistant." And all of a sudden, my eyes lit up. I was just like, wow, I knew I wanted to know this gal more because I wanted to know more about virtual assistants. Now, prior to that, I had heard about virtual assistants and I thought it was a great idea. And I actually thought about hiring one myself because I had a at-home business. But the great thing was, instead of hiring one, I became one. So about a month or so after I landed and that was in July, the end of July of 2005. In September, I contacted this gal. Her name is Jean. And I said, "Can you tell me a little bit more about this virtual assistant work?" And I knew a little bit about it because I was being coached at the time. I had a business coach. And when I went back and told her, I said, "Oh my gosh, I just met this gal. She's a virtual assistant." And now to preface that, I will tell you, I was really struggling about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to have as a home-based business. I'd worked some network marketing companies, I still do, but I wanted something different, and I didn't know what it was. And so when I came back and I told my coach, I said, "I met this gal, she's a virtual assistant," and she goes, "That's it. That's exactly what you need to do, is be a virtual assistant." And I knew it too. I knew it in my gut, I knew it in my heart, I just knew it. That's what I had to do. And the best thing about it was everything just aligned. You never know who you're going to meet wherever you're at. If it's on a plane, if you're in a store, if you're at an appointment, you just never know who you're going to meet. I just happened to be sitting on a plane flying home from Dallas, Texas to Minneapolis, Minnesota when I met her. "Hey, Troy, how you doing?" So I was really excited. And so when I contacted her in September of 2005, she goes, "Well, I really don't need any help as a virtual assistant, but my husband just opened up a business, an online business, and he needs some help. Hey, Linda, how you doing?" And so she hired me, and I was so grateful. And at that time, I thought I knew a lot about knowing things on the computer. I knew nothing compared to what I was about to learn over my next 12 years of being a virtual assistant. It was incredible. And it was very basic. I had the very basic things. I had AOL. I still had dial-up. We had no fax machine. I didn't have a scanner. I just had a basic printer. I had nothing. I just had the basics. And Jean is the one that encouraged me to finally get high-speed internet. And I said, "Well, God, I don't know. I can't really afford it." And I was really going back and forth. And she said, "Your business will take off once you start getting more modernized in your technology." So after 6 months, I decided to get a website, which took a lot of money, but I had taken the money that I'd earned because I was still working my full-time job. So I still worked my full-time job during the day and then did my virtual assistant work for Jean at night. Well, then in the next 6 months, I started gaining more clients. So I was getting really busy. And then what happened was I ended up taking some of my work to my full-time job. And then that got to be too much. So after 9 months, I was able to quit my full-time job and go full-time in my business. But after 6 months in my business, I opened up a website. the best thing I've ever done, because people want to know about you, and they want to know more about you. Back then they would check out your website, and they still do now. Now they're going to check out more of your social media than they are anything. But back then they checked out your website. So once I put a website up, my business exploded. And after 1 year in business, I didn't have to do any more advertising, paid advertising. It was all referral based. So I'm really excited to bring Jean and Steve on my radio show tomorrow morning. We are going to talk about how we met, that airplane ride, and what she taught me as a virtual assistant. Because she had her own assistant business for 5-6 years. She did it for quite a while. And she worked with a lot of clients, and she would mentor me. So even though she was my client, she also mentored me, because I was trying to learn new and different things within the virtual assistant world. And so she took the time and she mentored me. And then I was able to bring up my frustrations with some of these clients I had. And so I am so excited. I hope you guys are able to come on and listen tomorrow morning. It's going to be 8 a.m. Central Time. And Susan, for you in Arizona, you were 2 hours behind me, so that's 6 a.m. And I believe Susan is coming on. Susan and Dorothy are coming on in a couple weeks. But tomorrow morning, Jean and Steve Hanson are my special guests. And I am so excited. I've known them, like I said, since 2005. And I've wanted them on the show for a while. But the bookings have just kept coming on, and I've been so booked up for months that tomorrow's show actually was a cancellation from somebody else. So I piped in and I asked them, and they were very gracious enough to take the time out to do it. So I am very excited. And yeah, and Susan, hi, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to you. So I hope you guys are able to listen. 8 a.m. Central Time, Voice America. I have posted the link in the group page. And so I'm hoping you can just click on that link and listen to us reminisce about old times, but also talk about the exciting things they're doing now and how they've grown their business. And a little interesting tidbit, Jean was never wanted to be out in the spotlight. So when I worked with her, she always kind of stayed in the background, and she let her husband, go speaking. And the very first time I went to New York, I went with her, we met together. And she was kind of starting to come out of her shell, but now she goes and speaks to large groups, and she's really gotten out there, and I'm very, very proud of her. And so they still remain my friends today. And I wrote about her in the book, and I'm just really excited. So I hope you guys can come on. And even if you can't listen live, and if you have a question for the show, I'll post the phone number, but it's 888-346-9141. Feel free to call in with a question live on the show, or email or text me, and then I can get those questions on the air for you. So 8 to 9 Central Time tomorrow morning, or 6 a.m. Pacific Time. So that is my show tomorrow. And then, so I'm very excited. And then about my virtual assistant business. So as I went on in the business, I really learned to figure out what I was good at and what I wasn't good at. I remember one time this gentleman had contracted with me so I could build him a website. Well, I tried it, and it wasn't very pretty. And I sent it back to him. I said, I'm sorry, this is like the best I can do. And he said, that's okay, I'll go find somebody else. Well, I tried that a couple of times, and then I really had to realize that, guess what? I'm not good at website design. I'm not good at graphic design. Yes, good, Linda, I'm glad. I'm glad you'll be there. But I'm not good at graphic design. I'm not good at website design. But once I figured out what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, I was able to hand off work to other people. And what happened is I still got a commission off of all that, because I was able to hand off the work and they paid me back and for the referral fee. So what do I always say? Multiple streams of income. And that was one great way of having multiple streams. And it also, the client appreciated it, because I was open and I was honest. And when they would call me, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's just not my area of expertise, but I can certainly refer you. Bookkeeping wasn't my area of expertise. My friend Judy is a wonderful bookkeeper, but she was so busy with clients that I actually went out and I sought other bookkeepers, and I would refer them to the bookkeepers. Again, getting a referral fee. So you always have to think of different ways to make money when you're in business. So if that's one way, God bless. Anyway, that is it for tonight, you guys. And remember, when I say this too, your niche will make you rich. So once I decided to hone in on the skills that I'm good at with my virtual assistant business, And once I was able, and I became social media certified, my puppy is having fun with her toy. But I became social media certified, I became coaching certified. And once I was able to niche down what I was good at, it really brought in more of the market that I wanted to go after. So your niche will make you rich. All right, just remember that. So you guys go forth, be great. So glad to be back on with you guys tonight. Hope you're with me tomorrow morning on my radio show, and if not, I will post the replay in the group. All right, you guys take care. God bless. Until tomorrow night, you are stronger than what you give yourself credit for. So come with me tomorrow morning, be on my show, and also, if not, I will see you back here in the group tomorrow. Take care.